Welcome back. We're minutes away from tip-off. There is Dirk Nowitzki.
Look on my German. I don't even know where to begin with him.
Wie geht's, Dirk?
Yeah. Schnitzel, Wiener Schnitzel.
And there's Shaquille O'Neal, speaks a lot of languages, having a great season after the All-Star game, playing very well, but his team is up against the wall tonight and every night for the rest of the season.
The big I take a bath in the fountain of youth every night.
It's good. I need to. That was a good one.
That was good.
The big I take a bath. That was good. So let's talk about keys to winning this game. First of all, let's talk about Phoenix. What do they need to do to win?
Well, first of all, they got to get back. They got to get back in transition.
Answered that when they asked you before.
Well, no, but one thing Phoenix runs, but one thing when you're a running basketball team, what team's going to do to you? They're going to run back at you. And one thing, Dallas will get out and run. Jason Terry and those guys get out and run. And even Dirk gets out, and that's that trailer. That's where he's dangerous because he walks into those wide open threes or he pump fakes and steps in and gets those 17-footers. But Phoenix is going to have to get back and take away Dallas' easy baskets.
And what's Phoenix going to have to do?
Phoenix just lost 4 in a row, so I'm going to try to make them do something different. I'm going to say, in the first quarter, let's try to slow it down, pound it into Shaq, see what happens. As soon as Shaq comes out, put your track shoes on. We're going to load Shaq up the first 7-8 minutes. As soon as you get to the bench, Nash, pew, and y'all little fellas run, and we'll bring him back because, like you said, Coach, when a team scores on you, you can score easily on them. So I think they may have to use tempo as an extra defender tonight.
And the thing about it, by throwing the ball down to Shaq, what you're going to do is create space. You're going to create double teams. And then if Shaq is rolling and playing well, you get guys in foul trouble.
Those are the keys to the game. And we're going to take a break. Remember those, because we're going to talk about them again at halftime. We'll take a break. We'll be back. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. No. The tip-off of this game. Take it away, fellas.
Huge game here in the Valley of the Sun. Steve Nash going for his 6th straight 20-point game. He's never accomplished that in his entire career. Off it comes to Grant Hill, into Nash, backdoor, beautifully done.
Nice pick, just one off the big fella, Grant Hill with a perfect time play and pass to Steve Nash. Couldn't see Nash getting that scoring column early.
Nash has got to be more aggressive on offense, picking up the slack for the absence of Amari Stoudemire, and he's done just that. 110 shots in the last 6 games. Here's Nowitzki backing in on Matt Barnes. Barnes guarded him, you might recall, that playoff series when he was at Golden State.
He did a good job on that possession, not letting Dirk Nowitzki get to the middle, making him shoot a fadeaway.
Nash thought about it, dumps it into Shaq. Shaq needs to come back big tonight. A steal by Jason Kidd, who'll be 36 years old on the 23rd of this month. As Jason Richardson with a reach-in foul.
Yeah, tried to go with that alley-oop to Jason Richardson, couldn't get it, but how about that perfectly timed play right there? Grant Hill, just run guys off that big body of O'Neal. You get easy, good things will happen.
And nobody uses their left hand any better than Steve Nash. Out it comes Antoine Wright, who came over to trade last year with Jason Kidd from the Nets, and he started to really step up for this team.
Yeah, Bob Ortega says he will shoot that basketball from about 18 feet. Much improved shooter. And when Barea and those guys get together, used to playing with one another off the bench, they look for each other.
Here's Nash going in, and Barea is getting worn out. Nash has got, believe it or not, a height advantage on somebody.
Very nice, many nights to say that. And there you got to see another good defensive stop. And this is that fast, frenetic pace I was talking about.
Turn and burn, is that what you called it?
That's it.
Here's Nash on the back line. I've heard of the 7 seconds or Shaq, but I hadn't heard about the turn and burn. That's a new one. From the corner now, Matt Barnes overshot it. Shaq with a rebound, just calmly picked it out. The feed to Barnes, and an assist goes to the big Aristotle.
Yeah, Nowitzki was headed down the court thinking his team was going to get the ball, and Barnes just cut right to the basket. Easy bucket.
Suns 3 of 4 here in the early going. Nowitzki, who is averaging 25.3 a game. That's 5th in the league. The foul away, not able to get it. He has scored 30-plus points at 8 of the last 10 meetings against the Suns. Nowitzki wears you out. There's Nash, not able to get it to go. Wright brings it down. He played to Texas A&M. Jason Kidd off to Barea. Barea, a free agent out of Northeastern. And this guy surprises you. They list him at 6 foot. I don't know if he's 6 foot.
No, not at all. Not if he's wearing my wife's high heels. But I tell you what, he is tough. You got to watch that guy. He's a competitor.
Yes, he is. And there's Nash. Has it deflected out. Jason Richardson with the three. And Fulton Holmes proud to own the three-point zone. And they'll write another $150 check to Suns Charities.
If you're Coach Alvin Gentry, this is the start you want. Get Planet Orange involved in this game. Bring the crowd into it.
Suns 1 of 3 behind the line. Off it comes to the man from Germany who carried the flag this year for his native country in the Olympics in Beijing. And Dirk, what a 7-footer he is. There's been very few can shoot the ball at that size. Baseline now comes Nash, brings it out to Grant Hill. Jason Richardson, who has really found his niche with this team, averaging 18.5 points in the last 10 games. Nash looks in, 7 on the shot clock, gets a screen from Shaq, takes his time, kisses it off the glass, and we're going to have a foul on Steve as he fouls Jason Kidd.
Not a great possession for the Suns that time. Couldn't figure out who was going to take advantage of the mismatch. Shaquille O'Neal or Jason Richardson on that block. Hit too many guys on one side of the floor.
Barea, someone's going to have to stop the ball because he takes it all the way in the middle. Nowitzki misses. Back it comes to Steve Nash. Beautiful feed to Matt Barnes, and there'll be a foul coming up. There is one of those laser passes that only Steve Nash can do.
Yeah, and that was right to the middle of the floor, too. And everybody's bodies are running back down the middle of the floor, and somehow he just threads the needle between a couple of Mavs, and before the other defender can come over, and Matt Barnes will go to the line for 2.
Well, Matt Barnes right now, Scott, is in the best stretch of his season. He's playing his best basketball of the year.
I absolutely agree. He's being aggressive. He understands that there's no Stoudemire out there. And if he's out there playing that 4 spot, he's got to try to make some things happen when he's on the floor.
Averaging 18.6 in the last 5 starts. This is his 6th start since all of these injuries and since the changes they've had to make because of Amari being lost for the year. Kidd brings it out to Barea. Barea, look at him. He's just a whirling dervish. Goes in and kisses it off the glass, and somebody's going to have to pay some attention to this guy.
Yeah, mental penetration has been kind of a theme for the Suns. These 4 road trip games that they had. So those guards able to get down the middle of the lane.
Here's Barnes into Shaq. He's in low. They can do nothing. Nothing they can do when he gets it that deep.
Put him in the torture chamber. And Matt Barnes does a good job throwing the ball high away from the defense, allowing the big fella to jump out of his spot, catch the basketball, come down, and dunk it.
Here's Barea again. He's got 6 points. He has 6 of the Mavs' 10 points here.
Yeah, diminutive in stature, but not in heart. And like I said about this guy's toughness, they love it.
Look at Nash. Comes right back. Top break on the shot. He hits the deck. Gets up. Dampier comes up with a rebound. Kidd quickly to Barea. Barea's going to go in. And who is this guy? Can you believe this? 8 points in 4 minutes.
He's just attacking, putting pressure on the defense to get in front of him, and so far the Suns have not been able to stop him.
12-12. Richardson with a 3. Rebound by Dampier. Dampier, a solid guy, has been shooting the ball very well. Doing some good job defensively for Dallas. Barea finally misses. Here comes Grant Hill the other way. Hug up the air, gets it to Nash. And into Shaq. Shaq with a nice catch and off the glass.
I like that. He could have plowed in Dampier, maybe got an offensive foul, gathered himself, and then went up with a little baby jump hook from 3 feet.
So the tempo's to the Suns' liking. There's no question about it right now.
Yeah, they said that they'd run with the Suns, and I like the fact that they're going to run with the Suns.
Yep.
I think the Suns win that ball game over a stretch of 48 minutes.
See the Suns shooting 54.5%. Nowitzki the follow away. Rebound by Hill.
Matt Barnes is doing a solid job. Every one of Nowitzki's shots are fadeaway.
He's in his space. He's made him lean back on a couple of shots that did not go. In it comes to Barnes. Barnes and Richardson, we documented the fact that 2 years ago on Golden State, they came from behind and made the playoffs. Upset this Dallas team, the #1 seed that year. Here comes Kidd the other way, and there's a reach-in foul on Grant Hill.
Yeah, nice foul by Grant Hill that time. Steve Nash is in a bad way on a 1-on-3 situation or 3-on-1 situation. Grant comes down, takes the foul before the shot. Now it's side out of battle for the Dallas Mavericks.
A while ago, you talked about Matt Barnes. Let's look at it.
Every shot Dirk Nowitzki's got, he's not allowed him to get to the basket. He hasn't gone for Dirk's dirty little pump fake. Stays on his feet and makes him shoot the fadeaway.
And Dirk is 1 of 5 shooting here in the early going. He got it in this time, though. And that's point blank. You're not going to stop that.
No, I don't know. It's a miscommunication how they're going to play that side out of bounds play that time. Knocks it up to 14.
We're tied at 14. They have split the first 2 games. The Suns could win here. It'd be a great confidence booster. It's like 2 games if you'd win this one tonight. And there's another head-to-head meeting in Dallas on April 5th. Here's Barnes, has it deflected. Jack gets it back. 5 on the shot clock. Richardson with 3, a 3 ball. No. Pierre, that big, long body at 6'11", comes down to the rebound.
He does a good job on the board, especially the offensive glass. Nearly 3 offensive rebounds again.
And he's been shooting 77% from the field the last 10. He doesn't take very many shots. And there's Richardson tangled up. He and Nowitzki were wrestling in the corner, and they're going to call a foul on Jay Rich.
Oh, it's a big game. They're going to be wrestling all night long.
We've got a break in the action. We are tied at 14, and as anticipated, a crucial game brings a lot of tension, a lot of excitement, and we've got it here. Shaq with a nice pass, setting up Barnes.
The big fella's got that great court awareness, great court vision, unselfish with the basketball. Matty Barnes with the easy 2.
Early, Scott, he's hit 4 of 5 in this ball game.
If you had said the back would be killing you, you'd think it'd be Jason Kidd doing the damage, but this little guy right here, Jason Barea, has been attacking. No one's been able to get in front of him. The only shot he's missed is when Steve Nash finally got in front of him, he missed the layup. So got to do a good job figuring out where he is. He can squirt around some of those taller players out there, and you can lose them on the offensive end.
That's that game we were talking about earlier, Scott. 18 points, his first start. This is his 7th start of the year, and of course he's in there because, as we mentioned, Josh Howard not with the team at the sprained left ankle. He was looking at a specialist, or a specialist was looking at him, and they're not sure when he's going to be back.
Yeah, and it's in trouble because they're going to make him see another specialist as well. But look at Dirk Nowitzki getting the call on Matt Barnes, goes to the fadeaway, gets the hoop in the arm. He'll go to the line for a 3-point play.
You can't play that much better defensively, but Dirk is so tough at 7 foot.
7 foot, he can handle the basketball. He's got good balance. Every time he's on the floor, he kicks that leg out in front of you, and the referee's giving the whistle right here. Watch that right leg goes way out, kicks Matt Barnes in the hip. Matt Barnes gets the foul. I can't understand it.
Barbosa's coming to the ball game as Nowitzki at the line. Tonight's game is brought to you by Southwest Airlines, official airline of the NBA and your Phoenix Suns. Southwest Airlines, low fares, no hidden fees, a 3-point play by Nowitzki.
Yeah, 90% free throw shooter. That's like Steve Nash with some layups.
Yep, he's 6th in the league. Nash 3rd. There's Grant Hill. Beautiful gun. I love to watch Grant Hill play. I mean, it's like a clinic at times, the things that he does so fundamentally sound. 17-16 Mavs by 1. Biggest lead has been 3 by the Mavericks, 5 for the Suns. Barea missed a shot.
Well, he was wide open. They ran an alley-oop for a 5'10" guy.
There was Antoine Wright, got to handle the ball. Nowitzki goes after it with Nash, and those 2 old friends battling. They say that Nash kicked the ball. They'll give it to Dallas.
Well, you know he's a soccer player. He went down there and tried to kick it, but I like the fact that he dove on the floor. 2-time MVP, knows how important his game is, laying his body on the line.
I tell you, those 2 guys have a lot of respect for each other, but you know they both have a heart of a lion, and they want to win this one. Nowitzki out to Kidd. Kidd's been shooting the ball better as of late. We mentioned he'll be 36 at the end of this month, and there is Antoine Wright. And Wright makes it a 20-16 game.
I knew he had extended his range. I didn't know he was going all the way out to 3-point range, and knocked that one down, gives the Mavericks a 4-point lead.
Antoine Wright, that's only his 30th 3 of the year. Into Lou Amundsen, and he's fouled. And the foul inside is going to go against James Singleton.
A great pass inside, finds Lou Amundsen sneaking behind the basket like he loves to do for offensive rebounds. That time he gets a laser pass in the corner from Matt Barnes, and he tries to go up and dunk it. And I don't know if it was a foul or not, but when you're aggressive attacking that basket, you'll get the benefit of the doubt.
Amundsen making his 43rd straight appearance. He has become a defensive force for this team. Hits a free throw. And here comes the man who will win the 6th Man of the Year award. Jason Terry checks into the ball game. Barea will lead. Barea did a fine job, 8 points in 8 minutes.
Yeah, he really did. And I tell you what, the guy coming off the bench from Jet, Jason Terry, they call him the Jet. Watch the quickety-quicks he's got when he's out there on the floor in transition and when they run side pick and roll for him.
Terry leads all bench scorers this year. He's missed 8 games with surgery on his left hand, but he's back full strength. Here's Nowitzki, pulls up with an open shot, wide left, and we're going to have a push-off foul on Singleton. Singleton is a guy who came in the league as a free agent out of Murray State. He's been surprisingly effective for this team.
Yeah, hungry guys. He's kind of like the Lou Amundsen for the Phoenix Suns. Does all the little dirty work, sets some beats, run the floor, gets the offensive rebounds, down to the loose ball, and I think that's why Coach Rick Carlisle loves him on the squad.
Brandon Bass will now come into the lineup. He's that big NBA body guy who's also been a real find for this team. In it comes to Grant Hill, tucks the ball under the arm, and he's going to draw the foul. Tough break. I've never seen, Scott, so many shots rim out as Grant has this year. It's amazing how many of those shots come back out again.
Yeah, but I like the way he's in attack mode. You get that screen down in the corner, pin down. He puts that into a little curl and takes the smaller defender and just puts him right down there in the basket. And I think that extra little hippity-hop step, he's able to get that power off that right leg and extend it to the basket.
Hill hits the free throw. Devin George will now check into the ball game for Dallas. So both teams really substituting freely in this fast-paced, crucial game here in the Purple Palace.
I think both teams said, you go as hard as you can. When you need a little breather, come on out. We'll get somebody else in there fresh, and we're going to rotate guys all 48 minutes. Give me everything you got when you're on the floor, and those guys are going to lay it on the line. Both teams know the importance of this victory.
Grant Hill gets both free throws. The Suns have cut it to 1. The Suns are 4 of 6 from the line. Only 1 free throw thus far for the Mavericks. Nowitzki looking in against Barnes. Barnes tries to poke it away, stays after him. Made it a tough shot. Give credit to Matt Barnes again.
Everything's a fadeaway, and that was off the tricky foot that time. He still couldn't get it to go.
In the corner is Barbosa coming off of a 20-point game. Dumps it outside to Barnes. Barnes with a 3, wide right. Here comes Jason Kidd. At one time, the best point guard in the league. A guy who comes in here battling for the 3rd position all-time in assists, only behind Magic Johnson, who's in the number 3 position, as Brandon Bass able to hit there.
Yeah, big, strong guy out of LSU and improved his range, too, offensively.
Tell you, they have picked up some surprising players in Bass and Singleton and Barea. They have really done a nice job of that. And there is a nice job. Steve Nash, difficult shot.
Yeah, only one outside shot tonight for Steve Nash. That three-pointer that didn't go. He's looking to try to get to the basket. Coach Rick Carlisle wants to stop any kind of momentum run by the Suns. Gets a quick timeout.
Well, the Mavs are trying to get on the winning side on the road. They've lost 5 in a row, 9 in a row to Western Conference teams.
So we hope it's another loss tonight. But look at Steve Nash and Grant Hill attack the basketball. These guys understand how important it is to get high percentage shots.
Light bulbs, visit APS.com. That is pound 59925, I believe. You have the answer to that question?
Me and Sheila were talking about while you were reading the car. We're going with C. We're going to go with the $40. Everybody wants the big money.
Okay. Jason Kidd, 8-time All-Star, 5 years as the starter, brings it out to Jason Terry. 22-21 Dallas. Jason Terry got it. Boy, he's having a year, almost averaging 20 points a game.
Yeah, JT, I tell you what, he can light it up. Shoots 36% from the land of 3 and only 47% from two-point range.
Nash pulls it up, and we talked about Nash has been more aggressive offensively. That's the case tonight. 4 of 7 now for 8 points in the ball game. Jason Kidd setting it up now. Kidd, of course, was a co-rookie of the year coming into the league along with Grant Hill. So both of them in their 15th year in the NBA. As Jason Terry with a floater showing he could take it inside as well.
And that bar's not fast enough on that perimeter to stay with Jason Terry. He gets up on him too far, and he'll go by him. And the Nash back the other way.
I love it. I'd love to see Nash this aggressive. Many times, Scott, as you know, he sets everybody up, and you get to halftime, and he's taking 2 shots.
Yeah, and Goran Dragic is about to check in for him, but after he makes his last 2 field goals, I wonder if Coach Alvin Gentry might get the hook and pull Dragic back to the bench.
Nash already in double figures with 10. Brandon Bass overshot it. Look at him jump there.
Why is that now travel? Did that ball hit the backboard?
I think it did.
Okay.
And Nowitzki hit from outside. Nowitzki now with 9 points in the game.
Lucky break. I thought Bass had thrown it past to himself, as they say, and I guess maybe it hit the backboard. He was able to find the hot man outside.
Nash to Amundsen, beautifully done. And then he finishes short, reloads inside.
That's why the fans at Planet Orange love Lou Amundsen. Gets in there, doesn't get it the first time, but has that stick to it to miss to finish the job.
I tell you, Lightning Lou is fun. Everybody enjoys coming out to the ballpark to see him. Mavs lead cut to 1. Kidd dumps it into Nowitzki. Barnes has done a very creditable job on the All-Star. He kicks it into the corner now. Jason Terry with a 3. Nowitzki pushed off, got away with it. Follows inside, and Amundsen comes down with the rebound. Up it comes Barbosa. And school is out when he gets that kind of a lead.
Big piece. I tell you what, Steve Nash with a laser 50-foot frozen rope to Barbosa in mid-stride.
So Barbosa's first shot of the night is a layup. Suns have taken the lead. They've led by as many as 5. Here's Kidd from outside, and he hit it. Now, Kidd is shooting much better. I mean, he's shooting 40% for three-point land.
The best three-point field goal percentage shooter on the team at 40% actually, but Steve Nash just gave him too much room that last time. Dared him to shoot, and that NBA All-Star knocked it down.
That'll put the Mavericks over the team foul limit as Terry picks up the foul, his first. Nash will go to the line. Nash the other night missing his 9th free throw all season long. Comes in here 3rd in the league at 94%.
Yeah, he's missed all he'll miss for the month of March, I'd imagine. He's already missed one this month.
Steve Nash, well, now, I didn't say that.
Curse.
Scott.
I put the whammy on him big time, didn't I?
You did. Shaq coming in now for Grant Hill, and Dampier is going to replace Nowitzki. Nowitzki will leave with 9 points, 4 of 11 for the field.
I feel real bad that I did that.
Well, you know, I'm going to go and tell Steve what you did. I'm going to
don't tell him, please.
Make
don't
a
tell
beeline to the dressing room after this game is over. Nash hits the second. And look, speaking of going to the dressing room, Grant Hill is headed into it.
Uh-oh. That's not good news. It seems like he's got a towel on his elbow or something. We'll have to find out what happened to Grant Hill.
Well, Alvin Gentry said that foot is still bothering him. He has a nerve problem in his foot. But he goes in after coming into the ball game and playing effectively. 4 points, 3 rebounds. Here's Bass. Boy, Bass is a big, strong, impressive athlete.
And he handled the basketball in that low post there real good, protected it nicely.
Amundsen lost his footing. Here comes Kidd the other way. 2 seconds. 1. This will count if it goes. It does not. And the Mavs with a 33-point first quarter. And this game is as advertised. It is a very, very impressive start.
Well, I love it. Up and down. Both teams getting out and running and shooting the basketball, going to the hoop. And I like the way this game is setting up for the Suns over the course of these next 3 quarters.
Tomorrow on NBA TV, the Knicks taking on the Pistons and the Nets taking on the Warriors.
Chamberlain and Moses Malone. He'll be right behind those guys after tonight's ball game.
And Shaq with 4 of those 13 in the early going. Grant Hill's come back in from the locker room, and that's good news. As the Suns now down by 3, we start quarter number 2, and here's Barea, who got him started well in that first quarter with 8 points. In the corner now is Devin George, who started the last game. We thought he'd start tonight, but they went to Barea instead, and maybe turning the ball over too much. And that's their first of the night. Dallas had not turned it over previous to that play.
Well, you know, he doesn't have the wheels anymore to get to the rim like he used to. And Leandro Barbosa closed out on him strong and took that 3-point shot away.
Matt Barnes playing some outstanding defense, flings it off to Barbosa into Shaq. Dampier hanging on now. Shaq backs in, beautiful feed to Barnes. Doesn't go, though. Rebound by Devin George, who played his first 3 years with the Lakers, and all 3 years he won an NBA championship. Reminds me of another guy, though. Scott Williams. Barea backing out now. Suns they're in a position they got to win this ball game somehow. As Barea now in double figures with 10.
It's like little water bugs you see in a pond, just kind of squirting from side to side, weaving themselves around the lily pads, and then he gets a little bucket.
Here's Shaq now being fouled by Dampier. Interesting analogy as Dampier that time banging big bodies inside.
Yeah, I like his toughness. I like his attitude. Doesn't matter that he's small. He knows where he's able to get faster than other guys on the floor, and sooner or later he gets an opportunity.
There's Barbosa feeding to Barnes, back out to LB. 14 seconds on the shot clock into the Shaqtus. Swinging around now. Barnes with a 3. Yes! Matt Barnes got it. And Holmes proud on the 3-point zone, and they'll write another $150 check to Suns charity.
The timing on that for Matt Barnes is a little bit better. When he misses badly, he rushes that shot. He jerks it up over his head. That one there was smoothly done. 97 threes he's hit this year. There's Terry coming back. Terry sometimes is almost unguardable. You cannot stay with him. 37-33 Mavs. Here it comes Shaq. Burrows in. I mean, literally, he just lowered his head and took it in. He did. He just said, I'm bigger, I'm stronger, and I'm going to get me a bucket.
And nobody's going to argue that. 6 points now for Shaq. He's 3 of 3 from the field. Barea goes in, and he's going to be fouled. No, they're going to call a push-off on Barea.
Yeah.
Barea with the offensive foul.
Dragic did a nice job. Give that little rookie some credit. He slid his feet with the faster man out that time and stayed with him the entire time. And Barea's got to create that space with that left arm. Catches Dragic on the chest, throws him away, and the referee's got the foul.
That's his first foul of the night. Barea, free agent in 06, played 44 games last year. This is 7th start of the season for the Mavericks. Here's Dragic being measured by Barea. Dragic better take care of the ball because Barea can really play some good defense. Oh, beautiful feed to Dragic. And we're going to have a shuffling of the feet and a travel on Dragic.
That's unfortunate that time because he was able to get his man up in the air. Shaquille O'Neal did a nice job waiting patiently for the cutter down the lane. He gives that big right arm. Finally, it clears, gives him the ball. You can see just that little extra little step there. Picks up that right foot, which was his pivot foot. That's a jump. You get the whistle.
Nash crashed into him. Bass crashed into him, but it was after the travel. That will not help Dragic's confidence. Here's Terry, dumps it inside. To Bass, broken up. Barnes comes the other way. Matt Barnes pushes Barea off, and then Devin George commits a foul. Now Barea and Barnes were pushing each other on the breakout. There was no whistle there.
Yeah, the referees are going to let these guys play. They know how important this game is. We're not going to see a whole lot of ticky-tack fouls in this game. Look at Matt Barnes, though. I like the way he busts out with the dribble, keeps that right arm, gives him a little chicken wing there, across the chops, and then takes the ball all the way to the hole.
So George with the foul. Barnes will go to the line. So Matt Barnes has answered the call defensively. Offensively, he's also scored 6 points, has a couple of rebounds. He has averaged in his 5 recent starts 18.6 a game. He has stepped up after Amari was felled for the year. Today's broadcast is on AFN, the American Forces Network, broadcasting to the U.S. Armed Forces serving in 177 countries and aboard ships at sea. They're watching around the world in Iraq, Germany, Italy, Southwest Asia, South Korea, and Japan. And we welcome all of you and thank you for the great things you're doing for our country.
Absolutely. Thank you for your service.
37 all now. Barnes with 8 points in the ball game. Nash has led the way with 11. Off it comes to Terry. Barea's going to try a 3. And the rebound by Dampier broken up. Dragic picked his pocket. Off it comes now to Barnes.
Well, Scrapper got down there and broke up that rebound.
That'll help him. Dragic now backs it out. We have a mismatch with Devin George on him. There's Dampier, got a hand on it. 15 seconds to shoot. The Suns will inbound. We have a break. We're tied at 37. Both these teams desperately needing to win in the stretch run to the playoffs. Four and 29. They've won 7 of their last 8 games at home. The Mavericks, mentioned earlier, have lost 5 straight on the road. They're very good at home where they've won 7 in a row. They've always been good in the city of Big D. Here's Grant Hill now. Going to bring it in. Brings it into Barbosa. Barbosa in the early going, coming off the bench. Pumps one up from outside, missed everything. Dragic tried to save it. He does, but to the Mavericks. Barea's been a big story in the early part of this game. 10 points in the ball game. Devin George from outside, and that's what he does well. He just hit a 3.
Yeah, I talked the fact that he does not have the wheels anymore to get to the basket. And as players get older in the league, they go back to their outside set shots and make it a long free throw, and he's knocking them down at a higher rate.
And it comes now to Shaq. Shaq in the early going has hit all 3 of his shots. Out it comes to Barbosa. Back in. And they have just ran out of time. They didn't see the shot clock. It expired on us.
Did that seem like that was a fast shot clock? I wonder if that got reset at the 24.
I don't think that was
in
fact, Alvin Gentry's up trying to get him to stop the game. I don't believe that was a full 24. It couldn't have been, could it, Scott?
Not a chance.
Barea now brings it out to George. George will try a 3. And the rebound by Barea. And Alvin Gentry was incensed. We have been tied 4 times in this game as Barea now makes it a 42-37 game. And this guy from Northeastern has 12 points in 12 minutes.
Yeah, I don't understand. Coach Gentry's still giving it to the officials down there, and I'm not understanding what happened. Unfortunately, it happened at home. So
yeah,
really
you think on the road that might happen. Dragic misses a shot. Devin George comes down to the rebound. Jose Juan Barea, who played on the Puerto Rican Olympic team, backs it out now. 7:40 to go here in this first half. Steve Nash getting ready to come back into the ball game. Barea, crossover. Here's the ball picked up by Barbosa. Down the floor. Count it. And a foul's going to go on Devin George.
I'll tell you what, that started on the defensive end that time. They did the high pick and roll. Dragic did not let Barea come back a second time off that screen roll. Forced him to right back. Just Grant Hill forces him in the corner, and Barbosa picks his pocket. Watch Barbosa use his body here, gets it into George, and then gets the layup. Nice job that time by Grant Hill, keeping the ball on one side of the floor.
And George picks up the foul, and that'll be his second. And now Rick Carlisle's up and talking to James Capers, the official. They're going to call a timeout. No,
yeah,
he says, I don't want it. Yep.
Yeah, he wants a full timeout.
I don't think he wanted it, though. Now he's talking to Alvin Gentry. They're both discussing something here at center court. We'll take a break. Some confusion.
I'm confused.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are. Mavericks lead the game.
State, followed by Oregon battling Washington State. Find out who will advance and keep their conference championship dreams alive as our exclusive coverage of the Pac-10 men's basketball tournament begins tomorrow at 6 o'clock in high definition only right here on Fox Sports Arizona. Mark McClune back with you courtside, and former Wildcat, current Dallas Maverick Jason Terry going to be watching the Pac-10 tournament with a very watchful eye on his Arizona Wildcats, looking to extend their streak to 25 straight years of going to the tournament. I had a chance to talk to Terry before the game and asked him how he liked the Cats' chances of extending that streak. He says they'll definitely have to beat ASU to get to 20 wins, and he's hoping the Cats can keep winning so he can be in attendance to cheer on his Arizona Wildcats on Saturday in the finals if they can catch a little lightning in the bottle. Guys?
All right, Mark, and it's tough to beat a team 3 times in a season. Barbosa hits a free throw. Tonight's Phoenix Suns basketball game presented by Casino Arizona. What are you waiting for? The Mavs by 2. We're going to show you after a while when you get a break the debate about the shot clock, and our guys in the truck picked it up. There was really a shortening of the 24-second shot clock, and we'll document it in a little bit. Bass brings it outside now to Terry. 4 on the shot clock. Dampier from the baseline.
Oh, you got the guy you wanted shooting the basketball, but you talked about how red hot he's been. Normally his shots come in the painted area, but you're shooting 77% over your last few ball games. The bucket looks like the size of a hula hoop.
And there's Barbosa, tough shot off the glass. And that seems to be the description of him every game. Tough shot, tough shot, tough shot, and he gets them to go.
Well, look at both teams tearing it up from the field, 57% shooting.
44-42 Dallas. Dallas is 14-17 on the road. And Barea trying to knife through, and we're going to have a foul on Steve Nash. Now, we're going to show you what happened, Scott. When they came down, look at the shot clock above the basket.
Yeah, that's that three-pointer by George. And you can see the shot clock right there. 15 seconds is all it got reset to. Somehow, some sort of malfunction. So the Suns lost 9 seconds off their offensive possession. So when Shaq was throwing the ball back out, he thought he still had plenty of time, and then the shot clock ran out.
And so the officials didn't know it. The scorer's table didn't pick up on it, and the Suns get shortchanged and find themselves down by 2 right now. Barea's going to pull up. This guy is on fire. He has 14 points in the game. 7 of 10 for the field.
He's done it the right way. He went inside. Now all of a sudden that basket looks a little bit bigger, and he's got his outside game going too.
Jason Richardson brings it up to Grant Hill. Hill, this 50th start tonight. In it comes to Shaq. Dampier knew he was in trouble. He just bailed out of there.
Oh, the big Shaq just planted himself right in front of the basket and went to work with that big right paw.
Shaq has taken 4 shots, and he's hit all 4. Mavs by 2. Nowitzki getting ready to come back into the ball game. Barea picked up by Nash. Barea weaving around, deflected. Nash staying with it. A little soccer move there. Up to Terry. 3 on the shot clock. Terry, and he almost hit a 3 with a shot winding down. The clock winding down.
I know that wasn't a turnover. That defensive possession was so good, it was like a turnover.
Evan George jumps out now on Nash, and we're going to have a 3-second defensive technical against Dallas. So here comes kid Antoine Wright, Nowitzki, 3 of the starters back now for Dallas. Matt Barnes will come in for the Suns. And Nash goes to the free throw line to shoot the technical.
I like the way the Suns are playing right now. I mean, he's pacing the floor real well on the half-court sets. Haven't turned the basketball over much to speak of in this game, just 4 turnovers. And they're getting out and running when they have those opportunities.
And so Nash able to convert the technical. Suns down by 1 with a chance to take the lead. 5.5 minutes to go here in the first half. They swing it to Jay Rich. Rich gets a screen from Shaq and uses it to good advantage.
Kaboom! Everybody's wanting to their man off the big body of Shaquille O'Neal, freeing themselves into space. So Steve Nash do it for a layup. That time Jason Richardson for the jump shot.
5 points in the game for Jason Richardson. Suns have taken the lead. 47-46. Kidd into Nowitzki's come back in. Backs in against Barnes. And Barnes again doing yeoman work defensively.
Holding his ground.
Here's Grant Hill all the way, and That ball deflected. Nowitzki got a piece of it.
Yeah, Grant Hill's got his hand caught on the rim or something.
And it comes to Dampier. Grant Hill tries to stop it. Dampier follows his own missed shot. And the Mavs have been able to fight back and take the lead.
Tough position right there. You think Grant Hill's going to go in there and get himself an easy bucket or a dunk, and all of a sudden they come back the other way and they get a layup on the opposite end to take the lead back.
Hill in deep to Shaq. Got to hit that shot, but Jason Richardson, weak side, left hand follow.
Gary, where did he come from? Hey, he's had his arm and it's up to his armpit up above the rim to tap that thing in.
We go back and forth. The Suns now with the lead. Off it comes to Terry. Grant Hill jumping out on him. Jason Terry averaging 19.7 a game. Kidd with a ball fake. 7 on the shot clock. Good defense by the Suns again. Terry had to take a tough shot. Richardson comes down to the rebound.
I'll tell you, Grant Hill is stopping everybody out there on the wing. Come on.
There's a 3 by Richardson. Count it. And Richardson with the 3, and the Suns now have hit 3 of 8 behind the line.
Yeah, that's nice stuff right there. You got the ball down low. Everybody ran hard. Collapsed that defense. Jason Richardson just trails right into that 3 position. Of course, Captain Fantastic finds him on that right wing, gives him a strike, and he knocks the ball down.
It's a 20-second timeout. The Suns on a 5-0 run right now with a 4-point lead. This timeout is brought to you by Dial for Men Body Wash. Maintenance for your man's suit. Well, the Suns are getting some balanced scoring. They have 2 guys in double figures. Every one of that starting 5 has contributed. But something that won't show up in the stat sheet is the defense by Matt Barnes and Grant Hill.
Yeah, I think especially Matt Barnes on Dirk Nowitzki's not really let him get off the launch pad. Really has corralled him. Everything he's done so far has been fadeaways. And I'll tell you what, Grant Hill also on that wing is keeping guys on one side of the floor. But let's go back to Matt Barnes. Look at him in the post. Doesn't go for the pump fake. Stays down. Challenges the shot without fouling. Here again, Dirk Nowitzki tries to back him down. And gets him jumping, fading away, twisting away from the basket off the tricky foot. That's not going to go. And then doesn't go for that pump fake. Stays high and get another short shot. So that's been a great opportunity for now the Suns to get that rebound, turn it on, get down the floor, and run for easy buckets.
And Nowitzki tonight is 4 of 12 shooting. The last game against the Suns, he did not play that well after scoring 39 points in the first meeting in Dallas. Off it comes to Terry. Ball fake. Moves in. Out to Nowitzki. 9 on the shot clock. Kidd will throw up a 3. Comes back out to Terry. Grant Hill in too deep. And Terry makes him pay.
One of the few offensive rebounds the Mavericks have been able to get tonight. That time, long shot produced a long rebound. Grant just got caught creeping to the basket more than boxing out a guy.
Suns up by 2. Nash goes inside. Just stops on a dive. Blocked by Dampier. 12 on the shot clock. Richardson with a little teardrop. Wow, Richardson's done it all tonight. The threes and now the teardrop. He has 12 points in the ball game.
Took a page out of Leandro Barbosa's book with that little floater.
4-point lead for the Suns. Approaching 3 minutes to go here in the first half. Suns have got to win this game if they want to somehow get into postseason play. And there's Barnes picking up the foul. Nowitzki worked him until he got the foul. Barnes has stayed down on most of those pump fakes, but he picked up his second of the night.
I was singing his praises on how well he's been able to stay on the floor and not go for some of those dirty pump fakes that Dirk Nowitzki likes to throw at defenders.
So Nowitzki's had to work hard because the Suns have made him work for every shot here in the early going. Richardson with 12 points himself.
When you're always on the run, you need an assist. Milk's a great choice after exercise.
From the first 2 quarters of play in Phoenix, when I'm joined by Chris Webber and Sam Mitchell for the T-Mobile halftime report. Right now, let's get you back out to the game.
Nash for the night with 5 assists. For minimum coverage you can really use, call 1-800-SAFE-AUTO. So the Mavericks are go to the free throw line for only the 2nd time in this first half. They've hit their 1 previous attempt. The Suns are 9 of 12 thus far, and Nowitzki, deadly free throw shooter at 91%. In fact, this Dallas team, Scott, is the 2nd best free throw shooting team in the NBA.
Man, it's funny that they have not been able to get to the line, but we talked about until this last time how Barnes has been able to stay down on Nowitzki's pump fakes. And some of the great perimeter defense that they've had, but then I look up and I guess the Mavericks are still shooting 53% for the game, and the Suns are shooting nearly 59% for the game.
Nowitzki this year has had a 46-point game, which is not his career high. He had a 53-point game earlier in his career, but He has been an adversarial guy all through his career for the Suns. And it comes out of Shaq. Shaq, nice spin move that time. Suns bump it up to a 56-52 lead, and Shaq has missed only one shot. He's 5 of 6.
He's got 10 points to go along with those 4 boards. He's doing a nice job clogging the lane when he's out there as well.
Amundsen now trying to guard Nowitzki. They said they'd change it up, different guys. Nowitzki off balance because Amundsen just stayed with him body-wise.
Wouldn't let him go for that little foul. Stayed away from the contact. Great job by the 4s out there tonight defensively on Nowitzki.
Nash outside at the 2:11 mark. Gets it into Shaq. Shaq, jump stop. And as he goes across the middle, he's fouled.
Oh, he was pushed. They pushed him about 4 feet when he was in the air off his feet. Dampier did. He'll have an opportunity to go to the line where he's a much improved free throw shooter.
Dampier, this second foul of the game.
Get this one once again. Shaquille O'Neal has been putting all that pressure on Dampier. Doesn't want to let him get close to the basket like he did on that last possession. Just gives him that forearm shiver.
Fans, Bacardi reminds you to celebrate tonight's game responsibly. If you choose to drink, please drink responsibly. Bacardi rum established 1862. So Shaq, a career high 62% from the free throw line, hits this one. He has a career high in both field goal and free throw percentage at the start of the night, both in the 60 percentile. Look at Amundsen, great second effort. And you can hear the crowd with Lou in the background. Richardson with a 3. Boy, that would have brought the house down.
That would have been a big blow right there. That would have pushed the Suns over the 60-point mark for the court.
Kidd outside now. Jason Kidd, 8 times an All-Star. Dumps it into Dampier. Poked out by Grant Hill. Good defense by Grant Hill. Nash back the other way. Going to wheel back outside. Nobody able to put more than a 5-0 run together. They see something.
Move over, E.
Where did that come from? And he's moved ahead of the Big E, Elvin Hayes. He's now the 6th leading scorer in NBA history. And what a play to document it. This looked like a point guard going inside.
He does a great job sealing a fantastic pass away from the defense. And you're right, he looked like a much smaller defender down there. Look at the bench. They love Robin Lopez loves it. He doesn't get much time because Shaq's having an NBA All-Star year this year. But he loves to see the big fella out there working out like he is in his first half.
Look who's ahead of him. Kareem, the mailman, MJ, Wilt the Stilt, and Moses Malone. That is fast company. He moved ahead of Elvin Hayes. And now Shaq at the line. Suns with their biggest lead of the game right now. Shaq with 13 points in 17 minutes. He is 6 of 7 from the field. 1 of 2, now 1 of 3 from the line. 59-52.
I'll tell you what, Shaq just needs, just a little few more than 100 points to pass Moses Malone. So we probably see that before the month of March is out as well.
I would hope. Here is Kidd now, brings it outside to Terry. Terry picked up by Amundsen. Amundsen just tracking him, and that's hard to do. 4 seconds on the shot clock. Terry, long three. Oh, man, that's a dagger. You play great defense.
I've always wanted to be an artist. I always did through my whole childhood.
Terry Porter and Nowitzki now trying to reestablish himself after going 4 of 13 in the first half of the field.
One of the few times he was able to get Matt Barnes close to the basket. Matt's done a good job of really squaring his shoulders up, not letting Nowitzki get down low on him.
There's Shaq, and Shaq overshot it. He hurried it a little bit. He was fouled on the way up. Shaq in that first half was 6 of 7 from the field for 13 points.
Yeah, that's going to be the 4th team foul, a personal foul rather, on Eric Dampier. And so he'll have to make, Coach Carlisle's going to have to make a decision, and he's going to go to his bench early and get Dampier out of this ballgame. So a nice job by Coach Gentry and his staff recognizing O'Neal's going well and try to get that 4th early foul on Dampier.
Phoenix Suns broadcaster made available in high definition by Verizon Wireless. Call your cable or satellite provider for HD information. So coming in with Dampier picking up his 4th foul is Ryan Hollins. They acquired him this year back on January 16th from the Charlotte Bobcats with Matt Carroll for Sagana Jock. So Hollins kind of a project in his second year out of UCLA.
Yeah, UCLA guy, you can see he's real slight build. So Shaq, again, will have a big advantage down low as far as kilos going on that low block.
Shaq now 3 of 5 from the free throw line after Barea, that big first half with 14 points from the corner. The shot underway, not finding the mark for Wright. Antoine Wright had a strong first half at 8 points in the ball game.
Yeah, you can see right away that time Hollins just right on the back of Shaquille O'Neal trying to get that rebound. Steve Nash twisting and turning and fighting the big fella down low. Woo, Shaq Daddy's working out tonight.
And Ryan Hollins is saying, why did Eric Dampier have to get in foul trouble? I don't need this. That's 8 assists now for Steve Nash. Suns up by 6. Their biggest lead has been 7 of the ball game. Kid who took in that first half only a couple of shots. Here is Nowitzki, and Nowitzki looks like he's right back on track.
Yeah, that time they'd switched to smaller Jason Richardson on, although he had a hand in Nowitzki's face. It's just not enough to bother him as much as having a shoulder and a forearm like you would get from Matty Barnes.
And there's Jason Richardson tried to dive inside. He thought he was fouled. No whistle. Kid ahead quickly to Barea. Off it comes out to Ryan Hollins, and Hollins, a guy who has not really played all that much, and he just made a big basket for Dallas.
I was watching him as soon as that ball was rebounded. He is a deer. He sprinted the right side of that floor extremely well. No way Shaquille O'Neal could keep up for him, so that's his advantage right there.
And there's Nash shooting it over Hollins, who lists himself at 7 foot, 230 pounders. He's giving away 100 pounds to Shaq inside.
Hey, I listed Shaq as my #2 toughest guards all time, right behind Hakeem Olajuwon. I mean, you just try to push on him, and he backs you up. You got smoke coming out from underneath your sneakers, trying to stop him from getting to the basket.
Here's Kidd, his 3rd shot of the night, not able to get it. Barnes comes down to the rebound. Barnes now with 4 rebounds in the game to go with 8 points. Steve Nash outside, he has 8 assists. 14 points in the ball game. Double teamed on the baseline. Back to Shaq off the glass. Nicely done.
I'll tell you what, dunks, going to the basket, getting fouled, free throw lines. That time a little short jump hook from about 8 feet off that right side. Used the glass well.
Nash has been averaging the last 16 games 11 assists, and he's already got 9 tonight. That ball deflected out. Dallas will have it 12 to shoot. Jason Kidd, who's been very quiet offensively, 1 of 3 for the field. He has 1 assist and 3 points. So you figure he will impact this game as it wears on. Antoine Wright has it deflected, and they're going to call a foul on Shaq.
Is that going to be a shooting foul, or is he looking to jump in the air and pass that ball? Well, they're going to give him 2 shots and send him to the line. Just got on the hip of Jason Richardson, never got back in front of Wright. He was able to turn that corner. Then he goes into Shaquille O'Neal, and Shaquille O'Neal picks up the foul.
Shaq with the foul.
It's only
Wright.
first, though, right? Yeah, first foul by O'Neal.
Wright is from Texas A&M. He was an all Big 12 pick. He was the first in A&M history to be an all Big 12 first-team pick. The guy who came into the league as a first-round pick of the Nets, the 15th pick in the draft, 2005. He got both free throws, and you can see Rick Carlisle is getting more and more confidence in his play. He now has 10 points in the game. Nash back the other way. He's headed for Shaq, broken up. Kid's got it. Suns now turned it over 7 times. Barea into the corner. Wright kicks it to Kidd. Flying out is Grant Hill. Kidd resets and gets his own rebound.
Battle of the co-MVP rookies of the year back in the day. Was that 94?
That's right. Here's Nowitzki with Richardson on him, and they're going to call it, and that'll count. Oh, my goodness, what a shot by Nowitzki.
Yeah, as the MVP started to heat up a little bit, getting some of these and ones out on the perimeter, getting guys in the air. You just get Jason Richardson just with the body. It's not the fact that he hits him in the arm, but watch Jason Richardson's lowest body work underneath Nowitzki there. Bumps him, gets the foul, and Nowitzki that stays with that shot and knocks it down. That's a big blow.
Excuse me, Scott. 3rd foul on Richardson. Nowitzki now has 17 points, and he's starting now to make a move. He has 18.
You know he'd be heard from before this game was over, and they're going to have 1-point contest again. So this is going to be one of those seesaw battles. We had 4 different lead changes in the first half, and they're much more the same in the second half.
Hollins trying somehow to stop Shaq, and Hollins got decked, and they're going to call a foul on Shaq. Hollins really hit hard. I mean, you could hear it clear over here when he hit the floor. He's checking to see. He's got a bloody nose. They're going to have to get him out of the ball game, or at least attend to it.
Yeah, you get the tank with the big Shaq move down here, and I'll tell you what, he's the one that goes down and makes a huge splash in that painted area. Look at Shaquille O'Neal with that right arm there, gets it out there, catches him upside the grill. knocks him to the floor.
Well, Hollins in his second year is finding out what everybody knows very well. When you go against Shaq, you're going to get some punishment. And he just did, as Shaq, with that left elbow, caught him in the face. And more, I thought, damaging is the way he hit the floor. I mean, he hit the floor unprotected, and seemingly he's going to be all right. Of course, they want to keep him in the ball game because Dampier has 4 fouls and is on the bench. So Hollins will stay in.
Yeah, former Suns athletic trainer, now head athletic trainer for the Dallas Mavericks, Casey Smith, stuffed a little cotton up in his nose there, wiped him down, and hey, he's a warrior. This is an opportunity for him to play on a big stage. He's trying to get some more minutes from Rick Carlisle. He's not coming out.
You know, Hollins was quite a track performer at UCLA. He high jumped one time, 7 feet 2 inches. That's not his height, though. You're supposed to be able to high jump your height. And it comes to Hollins. Who is this guy?
Wow. Those springs right there. Catch, gather, and goes up and slams that thing home. Made an impact here in this third period.
It's the biggest run of the game. The Mavs on a 7-0 run right now. Out it comes to Barnes, and they've taken the lead 71-70. Nash trying to get into Shaq, and Hollins is fronting him inside, doing a nice job. Grant Hill flashes across the middle. And Hollins has come in and has done a good job on Shaq. Off it comes now to Nowitzki. Inside to Antoine Wright.
Suns need a timeout.
Yeah.
I think this possession, if they don't get a bucket, they got to get a timeout. This is a 9-0 run now, and they've lost all sense of identity on the offensive end.
From the corner is going to be Grant Hill. Kidd with another rebound. He's the best rebounding guard in the NBA. He's got 5 tonight. He averages over 6 a game. Foul away, Nowitzki. Matt Barnes tips it over to Steve Nash, and now the Suns trying to regroup a little bit. Down by 3.
Putting a lot of trust in your former MVP right now to right the ship offensively for your ball club.
Who else would you rather do that with as he takes Barea inside, can't get the shot. Hollins with the rebound. The Suns right now are really hitting a drought. Up it comes to Hollins. He's going to be fouled. And Ryan Hollins has come in for Rick Carlisle and has impacted this ball game.
He really did. I mean, both ends of the floor. And you thought Shaquille O'Neal had a huge advantage, but he's front of the post and he's ran the floor hard and he's got some easy buckets for the Mavericks. He's got them really well right now. Up 3 when we come back.
Game has impacted it at both ends of the floor, Scott was saying. And Mark Cuban was really upset when this team lost to the Oklahoma City Thunder. In that game, Kevin Durant was out, Jeff Green was out, and here's what he had to say. I know it's only one game, which I keep reminding myself of, but let's just say I wasn't happy with our preparation, execution, or effort. Not only did it look like we had no idea what we were doing, we did it without effort. The effort and energy on both sides of the ball by each player will decide the future for the Mavericks. Well, since that time, they have looked much better. And tonight, I would think that Mark Cuban, as he's here in attendance at the game, would be pleased with what he's seeing.
Yeah, absolutely. They're getting that energy and that effort. It seems like they know what they're doing. They've played a little one-on-one basketball, but it has been effective for them, shooting almost 55% through this in the game tonight. And I gotta like the way that, you know, when he comes out and makes a statement like that, he didn't throw it at the players, he didn't throw it at the coaches, he threw it at everybody. They say their preparation wasn't there, which puts it on the coaches, and their effort wasn't there, which puts it on the players. So he got them all motivated.
Well, they're trying to reach an amazing stat when you think about it. 9th straight season to win 50 games. 50 plus. They're on a 9-0 run right now, the last 2:24. The 3-point lead in the ball game. Barbosa against Kidd. Nicely done by Barbosa. Barbosa's been relatively quiet, even though he's got 12 points in 14 minutes. He could be the guy that could explode again. He's done it so many times this year for the Suns. Kidd picked up by LB. Kidd gets the screen from Hollins. They kick it out. Nowitzki. 10 on the shot clock. Kidd from outside, and Kidd now starting to fire away, just nailed a 3.
Yeah, Barbosa got caught on a moving screen that time, wasn't able to get underneath the screen like he wanted to, and then close back out to Jason Kidd. We've seen it early in the first half when Grant Hill let Jason Kidd open, he knocked down a 3.
Now here's Barbosa. One of those little spurts that he's so known for. I mean, he can carry a team for a stretch of a game by just shooting lights out, and with this great quickness and speed. And Barbosa now with 14 points in the ball game. 76-74, Mavs by 2. Barea. Up it comes Antoine Wright. He gets Richardson in the air. They double team him on the baseline. 5 on the shot clock. Barea from outside rims out. So the Suns with a stop. Up it comes now to Nash. Steve Nash, 9 assists, 14 points. Came out shooting the ball early, 6 of 12 from the field. In the corner goes LB. There comes LB again, this time off mark. And with Nowitzki on the rebound. Kid the other way. So creative in the open floor. Barea ducks in. Gets it off to Hollins. And Hollins gets a bounce. I tell you, Ryan Hollins, in this short span of time, has gotten the confidence of his coach, Rick Carlisle.
He's really running Shaquille O'Neal. He's not. Shaq can't get back down there with Hollins, so he's having to stop outside and pick up Nowitzki out on the outside, but he's got a 7-footer down there with Matt Barnes, and he can't handle him.
He tipped that ball over to Nowitzki. Off it comes to Barea. Hollins has hit all 3 of his shots in the ball game. There's Nowitzki fought away. Barnes is in his face. Good defense again by Matt Barnes. Richardson back the other way.
They got to utilize Shaq now. Nothing's really working for him offensively. Go back into the big fella. He's going too well to be going away from him. Now
there they go. They heard you as it comes into Shaq. Shaq backing down on Hollins. 9 on the shot clock. Nowitzki out on Richardson. Tough shot because the 7-footer jumped out on him, but they get a new 24.
You get a 7-footer on you, you got to take him to the basket.
And there he goes. Brings it out to Barbosa. Into the corner to Barnes. Barnes with the 3. No. Rebound by Barea. Suns cooling off a little bit. Still shooting pretty well for the ball game. 52%. Dallas at 54. Nowitzki backing in on Barnes. He just stays with it. Barnes is doing everything humanly possible to guard him.
No, but he's engaged in this game now. He had him shut down for a while, but now all of a sudden he's got himself a nice little rhythm to his shot.
Nowitzki with 20 points. We're going to have a pushing foul on Steve Nash. Nowitzki has 9 points here in the third quarter.
Steve Nash complaining that time that Barea was into him and grabbing his arm, and so he pushed him off to get him off. And let's see it again here. You see Barea's down into them, like gone to his hip. Then Nash tries to push him off, and they always catch the second guy, it seems like, didn't it, Gary?
Yep. Brandon Bass comes in for Hollins, and Rick Carlisle's got to be pleased with the second-year 7-footer. Jason Terry has come in for Dallas. So instant offense, the Jet, Jason Terry, has come into the ball game for the Mavs.
And every assistant coach and the head athletic trainer up to give Hollins a big congratulations as he came off the floor. Once again, Dirk Nowitzki with one of those little pump fakes gets us another Suns defender. That time Matt Barnes going up underneath him, getting the foul.
That's the 3rd foul on him. Let's go over to Mark McClune. Mark?
Yeah, just a quick note on Ryan Hollins and Shaq real quick. Both guys have checked out of the game, but looking up some information on Ryan Hollins online. And the kid grew up in Los Angeles, cut from the basketball team his freshman year, but the guy he always looked up to growing up was Shaquille O'Neal. So I wonder if he's going to save that gauze that was up his nose after the elbow.
I don't know, but
I hope
he's
not.
looking at him again tonight. Well, he's about the same size height-wise. Nowitzki continues now to really sizzle. He's in double figures in this quarter alone. 21 points in the game. And the Mavs now are starting to get a little distance. This is the biggest lead of the game. They're at 8. Nash outside. Nash going to try to reassert himself offensively. He just nailed a 3 in full cones. Crowd on the 3-point zone. Another $150 check to Suns Charities. Suns 5 of 14 behind the line.
Oh, the brain. He needed that one and got it down. Tell you what, Suns needed the basket. Who they go to? Their former MVP.
And Nowitzki is wearing the Suns out. He's headed for a huge night.
Yeah, they talked in the pregame that they were not going to double-team Nowitzki until late in the game or into quarters, but they're going to have to now because he's got himself going. Lou Almondson takes the feed from Nash and gets his 10th assist in this game.
Nash with a double-double, 17 points, 10 assists as he set up Sweet Lou. 84-79 timeout. Dallas, and Dallas has been very effective in this third quarter. Smart Carlisle's team has lost 9 in a row in the Western Conference on the road, trying to do something about that tonight.
Smart timeout by Rick Carlisle. Time Nash hits a 3-pointer, comes down and feeds his good guy, Sweet Lou Amundsen, for an easy 2 after a 5-0 run. He wants to get a quick TO.
Playoff game. It's the Leslie's playoff payoff. For more great Suns offers at suns.com/promotions. Well, Nowitzki has put on quite a show, Scott, in this third quarter.
Oh, he's been on fire, absolutely unstoppable. He's doing a nice job with these pump fakes, getting Suns defenders to bite on him and then getting a hoop to the basket. Once again, stepping back off the tricky foot, catching guys off out with no timing. And then once he got himself a good rhythm, the basketball for Dirk Nowitzki just seamlessly goes to the hoop. It's like the size of an ocean as he knocks it down there. But I'm holding on to this promo calendar here. And You're going to let Lou Amundsen bag groceries?
Well, Kurt Warner.
I hope they don't let him handle the eggs.
Oh, that's true. But Kurt Warner was bagging groceries before he became the MVP of the Super Bowl and had such a great year this year for the Arizona Cardinals. Nowitzki's 5 of 7 in this quarter, 13, now 15 points.
Can't stop that. I don't care who you put on him. They got to start running defenders at him, get the ball into his hands, make somebody else beat you. You're going to lose this basketball game because he can do that all night long.
He had a high of 46 points earlier this year. He has averaged 20 points in the last 6 games, but tonight he's already resting at 26. Richardson out to Barbosa. Barbosa floater. Tough shot. Rebound is cleared inside by Antoine Wright. Steal attempt by LB. Kid back the other way. Nowitzki, he wants the ball, and he traveled with it. Well, that's one way to stop him.
He stopped himself on that one there. Got so excited to get that ball in the basket again, the way he's followed something he's found into his range. Got his feet moving before his get the ball down on the floor. But 21 shots for Nowitzki now. And I think if Jason Terry gets himself another 10 shots, it's going to be a tough recipe right there for the Suns to try to beat.
That's a terrific 1-2 punch for the guys from Big D. Here comes Nash, floating shot, tough shot. You realize how tough that shot is. Your right-hander moving to your left, floating in midair, and he nailed it.
I could never do it in 15 years of my career. I couldn't do what Nowitzki's doing at that high post as a 7-footer as well. Those guys are special talents.
86-81. You were just a banger, though.
That's your
Williams inside. Defensive blue-collar guy. Here's Nowitzki picked up by Barnes. And broken up by Amundsen. Off comes to Barbosa. Here we go. Barnes the other way. Goes in. Got it. And the Suns now on a spurt. They've cut it for 3. And we're going to have a timeout by the Mavericks. Carlisle doesn't like what's going on here.
Well, sure looks like Nowitzki's doubled over a little bit. Did he twist his ankle or tweak a knee?
Well, he's had ankle problems throughout his career, and I think he was just upset about the fact that there was nothing called in his favor.
Look at Matt Barnes kind of comes into him a little bit here. Yeah, he hit it with that left arm. Nowitzki tried to sell like he got a shot to the rib cage and broke a rib, but referees weren't buying it.
So the Suns, after finding themselves falling behind in this ball game the most of the whole night, have come roaring back to cut it to 3. They had been down by a total of 8 points at one time, and now have cut it to 3.
Look at the crowd on their feet, loving the effort they've given the last 3 minutes of this third quarter here to cut it to a 3-point game.
A minute 36 to go in the third. Tomorrow night, the Mavericks will play Portland. Portland winning a big ball game. Got Rudy Fernandez hurt the ball game, but fortunately he's been released from the hospital. In the corner it comes to Kidd. Kidd not able to get it. Here comes Barbosa and Richardson. Richardson gathers it in.
Nice job by Richardson, realizing there was nothing there. Get the ball back into the hands of your best playmaker.
Nash outside with 10 assists. Over to Barbosa. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Richardson trying to take Nowitzki in. Spin move. Help defense coming from Bass. Off it comes now to Kidd. Kidd pulls it up. Terry pulls up with a 3. Man, he barely rippled the net on that one.
Yeah, that was just too easy right there. His option, he had Nowitzki or Terry that time trailing down after those other young guys collapsed the defense by making those rim runs.
7-3 of the night for the Mavericks. Amundsen in trouble, gets it off to Barnes. Nice heads-up play by Amundsen. Got it to Matt, and Matt finished off.
Wasn't the prettiest of plays as well. The ball was handled, but it seemed to work because they got a high percentage shot right in front of the rim.
Barnes averaging a career-high 10 points, has 12 tonight. Terry goes in, tries to create. Amundsen got a hand on it again. Here comes Richardson the other way. Nowitzki's back. Barnes, count it, and they'll call the foul as well. The Suns on a patented surge.
Now, this is exactly what you wanted out of these guys here. Guys that were there in the 07 playoffs, knowing what it is to play with intensity to try to make a playoff push. Jason Richardson to his old teammate with the Golden State Warriors, Matt Barnes, hopefully go to the line now and finish off the 3-point play.
Barnes has really played effectively as a starter. They brought him in so they could get Grant Hill in the small forward position, move Matt to the power forward spot, and he has responded. Did not get the free throw, but Barnes tonight with 14 points.
Yeah, that was a big play right there. Now the chance opportunity to get a stop here and keep this thing just a one-possession game.
Suns with 16 fast break points in the ball game. Here's Terry again. Look out. He's got it going. And he gets it going like that.
You don't want to double off of that guy.
92-87. Barbosa back the other way. And we have come to the end of the third quarter. The Mavericks outscore the Suns 34-25. And the Suns in a catch-up posture. Alvin Gentry talking about this being a huge game for this team. They're going to have to come from behind in the fourth quarter. Laser pass game by Schwartz, Laser Eye Center, TeamEyeDoc.com. See the best you can see, and this is Shaq with the laser pass.
Yeah, this will make Dr. J. Schwartz real proud because he wasn't even looking like he had eyes in the back of his head. Found a cutting Matt Barnes after the offensive rebound right to the basket for the easy two for your Schwartz Laser Eye Center pass of the game. Hey, that guy Trent, too, before he made that proposal, he went in for one of those trampoline dunks and got his leg cut inside the basket, inside the rim.
Well, your focus would be a little bit skewed, too. I guess you're going to propose to somebody a little bit later.
Yeah, he's a little nervous, I think, setting up that proposal. That was nice, though.
Here's Grant Hill pulling up against Nowitzki. Nicely done by the guy from Duke. And it's 92-89. So the Suns desperately needing a win, trying to break a 4-game losing streak. Trying to win this one and move in against the Cavaliers on Wednesday. Barea down the middle, and we've got an offensive foul on Barea. Monty McCutcheon calling that one. Rick Carlisle's really upset about the call.
Yeah, second time now Barea has been able to get on the hip of the defender, but because he's so small, if he doesn't get complete separation, he's got to throw that left arm out at the defender, and the referees are getting the whistle.
Barea, the second foul. There's Barbosa, not able to get it. Amundsen almost got the follow tip. Great hustle by Lou, but he just could not funnel that one in.
I wish Lou sometimes would go up with two hands to dunk that basketball instead of trying to guide it with the right hand into the bucket. You love the hustle, but man, you want to see him get those points too.
82, 92, 89, Dallas with the lead. Out it comes to Terry. Terry has taken 7 shots. He's hit 13 of them for 17 points. He's been hot from behind the line. Out to Nowitzki, 5 on the shot clock. Nowitzki, Barnes all over him, and it didn't matter. It didn't matter.
He didn't go for the pump fake. He stayed down, but because he didn't go for the pump fake, he was not able to elevate and challenge that shot like you would have wanted to.
Dirk with 28 points in the game, 94-89. Nowitzki has really come on in the second half. Barbosa backing it out, 10 on the shot clock. Tries to spread the floor. Dumps it off to Barnes, 5 on the shot clock. Barnes wheels in. Carlisle wanted a call there. He thought Barnes had pushed off.
Yeah, that's a play I hadn't seen in about a month. They used to run that. Matt Barnes would put those smaller defenders right down the middle of the plane and go into those little jump hooks. And I'll tell you what, nice job that time not settling for a fadeaway.
Barnes having another strong game. Barea with a 3. Rebound tipped out by Devin to George, up to Nowitzki. Barea now gets it back out to Terry.
These long rebounds, or long shots are producing long rebounds for the Dallas Mavericks, and they're getting more than they're not getting.
Now Amundsen jumps out on him. Terry's going to shoot it over him anyway. Ball tipped out to Barbosa. Good tip that time by Barnes. Up it comes to Richardson. Jay Rich floating to the hole. Overshot it. Amundsen put back. Blocked by Nowitzki. Bass comes down with it. Amundsen wanted a call. Didn't get it. He's still complaining as he retreats defensively. 94-91. What a game this is. It's so important in the playoff picture with 19 games remaining, counting tonight. Bass with Barnes on him. 6 on the shot clock. Good defense. Bass forced it, and they call the foul on Matt Barnes.
Yeah, got up underneath him right on the elbow. Easy call for the referee that time on the baseline. Monty McCutcheon.
It's hard to believe, as good as this Dallas team is, that they've lost 5 in a row on the road, 9 in a row to the Western Conference. They are too good a team to have that kind of a streak against them. Bass, as you can see, flat with a shot, but Barnes with the foul.
Try this. Bass is a good free throw shooter, 87% as well.
Coach Alvin Gentry's wardrobe is by the Clothery at the Biltmore Fashion Park, 24th Street and Camelback. My partner Scott brought 2 ties tonight from the Clothery and decided to go with the second of the 2, and I thought both of them were just excellent, so you really didn't have a big choice tonight.
Well, you know, I was getting dressed this afternoon. I wasn't quite sure which one looked better. I wanted to go with one that was more of a, planted orange, and that's I got outside. It looked more like a salmon color. I said, this ain't working. I got to change up.
Looked like a big pumpkin, huh?
Yes, it does, too. I weigh too much to be wearing this soft tie.
Now, we've got a substitution thing here. Singleton was coming out of the ball game, and he's not the one they want out. They're going to get Devin George out as Ryan Hollins, who played so well in the earlier stint, has come back into the game now. Bass at the line, you mentioned, a very good free throw shooter. This team shoots 82%, second in the NBA, and Bass gives them a 5-point lead, 96-91.
I see Dirk Nowitzki sitting on the bench, taking a breather so he's fresh for the stretch run. Suns right now, somehow with Nowitzki on the bench, got to try to close this gap.
You'd think Shaq could do something with Hollins, but Hollins is hung tough. Here's Grant Hill, 10 seconds on the shot clock. He takes Singleton in. Singleton did a nice job defensively. Up it comes down to Terry. Jason Terry brings it off to Barea. Barea, who got them started so effectively in that first quarter. Inside 9 minutes to go in the ball game. Terry trying to shake Amundsen. Beautiful shot.
Oh, that's just some good one-on-one basketball. I don't care. You've seen Dirk Nowitzki do it a few times. Now this time he goes to the bench. Jason Terry says, okay, now it's my time to shine offensively. Show you why I can score 20 points a game.
Terry played on an NCAA championship team in Arizona for Lute Olson. He was a Pac-10 player of the year. Shaq reloading inside on a pass from Jared Dudley, and we're going to have a foul on Hollins before the shot.
Yeah, you got 2 hands in the back. You're only allowed either one hand. Actually, got 2 forearms, what Monty McCutcheon is saying. We have an opportunity for free throws. No, just a first personal foul.
And we've got a break. Suns down now by 7. We'll be back. Gary Bender, and the big story, I think, in the game is the bench of the Mavericks. They've outscored the Suns 34-17. Barea coming in with 14 points, Terry with 19 points, and they have responded well.
They've all done a good job. Even the only one that hasn't really is Singleton off the bench. He's able to get going. They've done a good job here in the fourth quarter protecting that basket, too.
That was Hollins again. Hollins has really acquitted himself well, coming in when Dampier picked up his 4th foul back in the first half.
Yeah, we haven't seen Dampier since, have we? As Hollins has been going. The combination of Hollins and Bass.
Rick Carlisle may have found somebody for the stretch run to the playoffs. Here's Barea outside. Barea goes inside as the big Shaq man chasing Bass. Bass not able to get it. Hollins fights for it. It's going to be off of whom? It's going to be off of Hollins. It'll go to the Suns. Barnes is going to come back in now for the Suns. Matt Barnes will come in for Amundsen. Amundsen with his great energy effort again. 5 points, 9 rebounds in 23 minutes.
They did a nice job. And a good job defensively out there on Nowitzki as well. And he forced him into some tough shots, but once Dirk got it going, it didn't really matter who was guarding.
Get the sense Nash will start to assert himself offensively after doing it early in the ballgame. We'll see what happens. He's 8 of 14 for 19 points. Into Barnes, he's going to be fouled. Double teamed inside. They're going to call that on Terry. Jason Terry collapsing back on the play. The only guy in foul trouble is Dampier with 4. No one else in any foul trouble on either team.
Now look at this one again. He thinks he's going to come over and set the pick, and City just slips right to the basket. Nash with another one of those great passes. Finds him in stride.
Fans, Bacardi reminds you to celebrate tonight's game responsibly. If you choose to drink, please drink responsibly. Bacardi rum, established 1862. So friendly bounce there for Matt Barnes. Barnes now with 17 points in the game, 4 of 6 from the line. The Suns are 13 of 19 from the line. Dallas 10 of 12, and Barnes misses the second. 6-point game. Barea has really come in and done a good job for this Dallas team. Off to Terry. Back out to Bass. Brandon Bass from LSU pulls up and hits. Bass is 6'8". They list him at 240 pounds, and he's all of that.
Yeah, he's done a nice job of improving his game by being able to put the ball on the floor, 1 or 2 dribbles, and pulling up for his jump shot.
Nash now trying to create inside. 8-point deficit. Out it comes to Hill. Hill with the three ball. Yes! And Fulton Hope proud to own the three-point zone. And for Grant Hill, that is only his 28th three of the year. 195.
When you young point guards out there, you can see how important it is to get the ball below the free throw line. It sucks the defense down. It gives a guy an opportunity to set up his shot and knock it down.
Pass brings it out to Barea. Inside 7 minutes to go. Barea goes in, challenges Shaq. Hollins on the backside, comes up with it. Ball deflected, going up his pass. And there's that big, strong guy we were talking about, horsing it in.
Yeah, but I got 3 white shirts out on the perimeter watching 2 guys in there trying to battle for a ball. In a game like this, you got to get all hands on the boards.
Barnes goes up. Hollins tried to block it. Timeout. Rick Carlisle using his timeouts very judiciously in this game.
Yeah, I looked over at Alvin Gentry immediately and kind of just got a kind of a shift to his head like doggone it. Just when we were about to get a little momentum offensively, he's quick to call that timeout every time. But you like the way the Suns are sharing the basketball. Just got to keep trying to finish this thing off.
Presented by Southwest Airlines, official airline of the NBA and your Phoenix Suns. And Scott, it's all yours.
Well, when you become the number 5 all-time scorer in NBA history, you get all the highlights. First Shaq with the one-hander right there. Got to show Nowitzki some love because he's got 28 points and he's a former MVP. But look at the big cactus planting himself close to the basket all night, one-handed, or the simple two-hand flush. And then got to show this young fellow some love right here. High jumper, 7'2". He's doing a nice job out there. And of course, the man who just recently engaged got his legs stuck in the rim, got the dunk as well.
Well, yeah, what happened here was Trent. Now watch this. You caught this. I didn't realize for a while it was the same guy that proposed at halftime, or I should say at the half-court line. And he got his leg caught, then proposed, and he's had a big night.
Yeah, the guy, the lady he got the pass from, that got his couch struck was his fiancée. He just proposed to Rennie.
Ryan Hollins turns it over.
Just what the doctor ordered for the Suns right there, to get a stop, get the ball back, chance to chew into that lead.
Shaq with 19 points in the ball game in the first half. He had 13. They need to get him started again. There's a pass inside, and Hollins hanging on, commits a foul.
Yeah, he said, hey, you already popped me in the nose, bloodied my nose. I'm going to hold on to you. Don't hit me with another one of those big hands. I want to be able to chew my steak at the end of the night. I don't want to lose any teeth.
Rick Carlisle looking up, trying to figure out how many fouls his 7-footer has on him. It's 2. Rick Carlisle's been a winner everywhere he's coached, the Pistons and Pacers. Outside Nash. Jason Kidd with the rebound. No surprise. He can rebound with anybody in that position. 5 for the night. Kidd brings it out. Nowitzki. Shaq comes out on him and commits a foul. So Shaq jumped out. 2 All-Stars going head-to-head. Shaq with 14 appearances in the All-Star game. Nowitzki this year with his 8th. And here's a look at the foul on Shaquille O'Neal.
Shaq thinks he got all ball, but I think he gets him for that left paw that's on Nowitzki's hip where they get the whistle for. So maybe a little too much off-ball action. But he gets a steal.
Grant Hill comes up with a pass intended for Nowitzki. Big steal in this game. Nash backs it out, 5.5 to go. Nash broke it up. That was Hollins. Tipped it outside. Up it comes to Jason Terry.
That's where Nash misses Amari Stoudemire. The ability to throw that thing up about 11 feet at the rim and have Stoudemire go flush it on those pick-and-roll situations.
And Barnes has just picked up another foul. That's his 5th of the night. Barnes has done such a good job. And you say good job when Nowitzki's had as many points, but I mean, he's made him work for everything.
He really has, man. He's played great defense. There's just been better offense by Nowitzki. He's been able to knock down some of those, off-balance fadeaway jumpers that he didn't get in that first period.
So 5 fouls against Matt Barnes. Nowitzki with 11 on the shot clock. Kidd back out to Terry.
Now they're running guys out. I'm taking the ball out of his hands. The second time they don't, they make him pay.
Wow. He is 8 of 9 in the second half shooting. 104-97. He has 30 points in the ball game. That's his 20th 30-point game of the year. Barnes from the corner. Rebound by Kidd. Well, Kidd is cleaning up the rebounds right now on the weak side.
Yeah, and the Suns, ever since Amundsen left the ball game, he's not able to get an offensive rebound. Trouble from the corner.
But they'd hit that, and here's Nowitzki following once, twice, 3 times. Still after it. Shaq couldn't stop it. Out it comes out of Barea. You got to give Nowitzki credit. He hung in there. The Mavericks with the basketball. 4.5 minutes to go. There's Dirk again. This guy is a phenomenal player. Look at this. Look at this. Is he putting on a show or what?
Yeah, I played with this guy in Dallas. I've seen this too many times. You can't to take the ball out of his hands. He can do that all night long once he gets himself into a rhythm. Size of a hula hoop.
In 9 of the last 11 games, Nowitzki has scored 30-plus points. He has 32 tonight.
Against Arizona, can they do it? Find out who will advance and keep conference championships alive as our exclusive coverage of the Pac-10 men's basketball tournament continues Thursday at noon in HD right here on Fox Sports Arizona. Mark McClune back with you courtside. The Suns in a must-win situation. A win tonight puts them 3 games behind the Dallas Mavericks for the final playoff spot in the West. A loss tonight, they're 5 games back of the Mavs, and things look bleak with 18 games to play. But it's certainly doable to make up that deficit. Matt Barnes and Jason Richardson were on that Golden State team just 2 years ago that picked up the number 8 seed by going 16-5 down the stretch and knocked off Dallas in the first round.
Well, Mark, to follow up on that, talking to Alvin Gentry, he thought his team might have to go 15-4 in the last 19 games to make the playoffs. Shaq goes inside. The Suns have not lost 5 games in a row all season long. 2 times this season they've lost 4 in a row, and that's where they are right now. Whether it's a home game, HD telecast, the Suns live pregame and postgame shows, or it's exclusive access to the team. Fox Sports Arizona covers the Suns like no one else on planet Orange. Shaq missing the free throw. Shaq now is 3 of 6 from the stripe. Mark Cuban has to be pleased with his effort on the road. His team trying to break a 5-game losing streak on the road. The Suns trying somehow to pull this one out. They'd go to 34-30 if they lose tonight with the Cleveland Cavaliers coming here Wednesday night. Shaq missed both of them.
Yeah, 2 big misses there. And I tell you what, you got to try to figure out a way to get another stop defensively. Clock becomes a factor when you're down 9, 4 minutes to play.
Here's the factor. Nowitzki deflected out to Kidd, 8 on the shot clock. Back to Dirk. Dirk, 7 foot, just reaching up above everybody. Kidd from outside of 3, and that is a tough one to overcome.
Yeah, and they're down now, so you're down 12 points, under 4 minutes to play. Every opportunity you come down the floor, you got to get a bucket or at least get some free throws from the free throw line with that clock stopped.
Biggest lead of the game, 12 by Dallas. 3:39 left in the game into Shaq. And Shaq now has 21 points in the game.
Shaq 9 of 10 from the field, doing a good job when he's close to the basket. Unfortunately, 10 shots not enough for Shaq in this ball game. I think Ryan Hollins in that third quarter gave the Suns a different look, and they weren't able to get the ball into them like they wanted to, like they did in the first half.
Nash now with 13 assists in the game. Off it comes to Nowitzki. 7 on the shot clock. Barnes measures in. Barnes playing with 5 fouls. Kidd with another 3. You believe that? Jason Kidd, a former Sun, comes in and buries 2 threes. Alvin Gentry calls timeout. And this game is fast getting away from the Suns.
It really is. Losing some opportunities, but you got to get the ball out of Nowitzki's hands the way he's going. Unfortunately, Jason Kidd stepping up huge down the stretch trying to get his team this victory.
Well, we knew Nowitzki was a special player. He just went to his 8th All-Star game. We're going to show you the flurry of activity in the second half by the German.
Oh, he's doing a good job. Right in the center of the court there. It's almost like shooting a long free throw. As long as he is and getting ball up as high as he does on his release point, even when he's got defenders up on him, they're not able to challenge the shot. In his years of experience, he's able to knock that thing down. They don't bother him.
And all of the second half, look at this. 9 of 14 shooting in the second half. You know, 7-footers are not supposed to shoot the ball like that.
No, they really aren't, but this guy has worked at his craft and really made himself an MVP-type player. And, you know, you can wonder, he would be considered, I already consider him a Hall of Famer in the NBA before his time in this league is done.
Nowitzki has 13 rebounds, scores 2 years ago. Dirk was the league MVP, and his numbers are so similar from that season. Here is Barnes, dumps it in to Grant Hill, and they needed that. By the way, Jason Kidd hit those last 2 threes, and this veteran, who'll be 36 at the end of this month, has hit 4 of 8 3-point shots.
Oh, right in the position where they were in a lot of those road games, though. You know, coming from behind, able to get offensive scores, but not able to get the defensive stops.
Suns have extended their defense. Barea goes in. Nash hits the deck. Nash came out after Barea, and Barea went flying inside. And Barea is the guy that started this whole thing. I mean, he came out so strong, fast in this game, and kind of established some control of the game for the Mavericks.
You got to get, they were playing one-on-one basketball with Jason Barea. He was looking more for his shot more than distributing the basketball, but he was able to get those things to go. And sometimes when the rest of the team see those shots fall, and they just keep coming where he left off.
Nash with his 4th foul of the night. Barea in the corner. 5 on the shot clock. This one not going to go. Rebound by Barnes. Suns got to make a move. 2:21 left to go. Down 112 to 101. Nash hurriedly trying to get inside. Lost control of it. Hill recovers. Off it comes to Richardson. Good hustle play offensively. Richardson now with 16 points in the game. 112-103. There's still some time, but the Suns have got to get a stop right now. Barea looks over to Rick Carlisle. A minute 53. Barea going inside out to Terry. Terry not able to hit this one. Barnes with a rebound. Suns in a hurry-up mode again. Nash with 19 points, 13 assists in the ball game.
Yeah, look at the Dallas Mavericks switching everything, not allowing any three-point shots.
Here's Richardson, and that was a tough catch and shot. He got it. Timeout is called, and the Suns are still alive. Richardson had to shovel that one up and in and got it. So the Suns still have hope. Somehow they got to find a way to win this one.
They're really scratching and clawing, leaving everything out there on the floor.
The playoffs. They were the number 8 seed, and they took on the number 1 seed, the Dallas Mavericks, and beat them. And Richardson and Barnes were on that team.
I hope Richardson and Barnes can figure out a way here in this final 135. They're both out there on the floor to beat the Mavericks once again tonight. But it's going to take a yeoman's effort, especially on the defensive end.
Don Nelson had that Golden State team. I mean, they were rolling when they hit the Dallas Mavericks and eliminated them in the first round. Here we go, a minute 34 to go. Barbosa out on Kidd. Kidd going to take some time off the clock. And no harm, no foul, no whistle, I guess. Barbosa hit the deck. Terry goes in and floats to the hole. Boy, I don't know. It looked like there should have been a call out there.
They begged him with the shoulder. Guy was in good position. They overreacted to the play just a bit.
Barnes ducks in. He's got a mismatch with Barea. Barea commits the foul. Barea said, what did I do? Well, it was underneath him. That'll send Barnes to the line. Our post-game show will be going out to the Paseo, and at that time, and right now, let's go to Brad Steinke. Brad?
Thanks, guys. I'm not excited about the score right now, but I am excited about our guest tonight, Eddie Johnson, filling in for Tom Chambers, so stick around for Quest Suns Live. Eddie's with me right now, so it's going to be quite a show. He tells me. Back to you guys.
All right. Matt Barnes hits a free throw. The Suns are now 14 of 23 from the line. Barnes with a 20-point game. And I think he has played a complete game, both ends of the floor. 7 rebounds, defensively trying to do his best against Nowitzki. Got both free throws. 114 to 107.
The steal. At some point in time here in this final minute 10, they got to get a steal.
There's Kidd, gets it over to Barea. It's really hard to get the ball out of Jason Kidd's hands in that type of situation. So Nash commits the foul, stops the clock. Barea will go to the free throw line. They're over the team foul limit. Barea tonight has not been there. He has 14 points, but none from the line.
Yeah, and if you can call 69% a poor free throw shooter, one of the poor numbers on the Dallas Mavericks team, that's what his number is on the season.
Well, this will surprise you. Tonight's Quest player of the game is...
I hate to give it to somebody that's invading our territory, but this guy right here, Dirk Nowitzki, deserves the honor. He's been Mr. Fantastic the second half of this ball club. He just basically put the Mavericks on his back and put them across the finish line.
32 points in the game, 13 rebounds. Both free throws find the mark. And we've got a 20-second timeout with a minute 4 to go. So,
Gary, let me do one thing real quick. This pace of this game has been so fast all night long, and I really like the way this young man has played and handled himself in his time at ASU. A big congratulations to James Hart at ASU to be winning the Pac-10 Conference Player of the Year. I really have a lot of appreciation of the way he handles himself, the way he plays the game, the intensity and passion in which he performs on the floor. Wanted to get that in tonight during the broadcast.
Well, Herb Sendek has really got this team going. They'll be in the dance, the big dance. They play Arizona again. I don't know if they can beat them a third time this year, but Sun Devil fans have been very pleased with what's going on. And so let's talk about the Suns, Scott. This was a big game. We knew that coming in. The Suns needed to find a way to win it. They're going to lose their 5th in a row, and they're going to drop now. So far back to the Mavs, they'll be 5 games back with 18 to play. Now Denver's coming back. They're starting to slide a little bit, but it's going to be awfully hard to make the postseason play.
Yeah, you talked about some of the players calling this a playoff game. I think it was Grant Hill that said this is the Super Bowl for the Suns, and they just didn't figure out a way to get Dallas stopped in that third quarter, and they got off and running with those 34 points.
There's a ball out to Terry. Grant Hill with the stuff. They're going to foul Terry if they can catch him, and they do. And Barnes is fouled out of the ball game. That'll be 6 on Matt Barnes. But I give Matt Barnes a lot of credit. 21 points, 7 rebounds, 4 assists in 40 minutes of play.
He left it all out there, Gary. And he had a tough assignment, obviously. Dirk Nowitzki did a great job for a quarter and a half, but just a couple late plays there in the first half got Dirk into a nice little rhythm, and he continued that into the second half.
Sign up for My Suns Mobile, powered by Verizon Wireless. Get text messages with breaking Suns news, special offers and promotion. Visit Suns.com for information. So Dallas now will go to 39-25. They have a game tomorrow night at Portland. Then they go to Golden State. The Lakers on Sunday. The Suns play host to the Cavs and Oklahoma City on Saturday. Then they go to the Warriors on Sunday. But the Mavericks starting their 4-game road trip on a successful note. Now up 118-109.
Yeah, the unfortunate part, I honestly feel the Suns needed to get this game, because you can think the Mavericks can play 500 basketball, go 9-9 the rest of the season, and the Suns couldn't catch them. So this was one that they really kind of had to have, unless the Suns can win out.
Nash got his 20 points for the 6th consecutive game. First time in his career just a moment ago. He's got 21. Reach-in foul by Barbosa with 41.9 seconds to go.
You know, it's a 5-point game with, like you say, nearly 42 points, 42 seconds to go. But this Mavericks team at the free throw line is just diddly. They don't miss opportunities, especially Dirk Nowitzki's at the line right now, shoots 90%.
82% as a team. And tonight they're 14 of 16. And you tried to talk him into a miss. I knew where you were going with that. Did not work.
Did not work at all.
Nowitzki with 33 points. So 9 of the last 11 games he scored 30-plus points against the Suns. The only game he didn't, they lost. That was game 2. And he had only 12. But now it is a 120-113 game with just over 41 seconds left. So we'll come back to wrap it up to finish this game here for this 151st consecutive sellout at the Purple Palace. The Suns actually have the more favorable schedule down the stretch. The problem is, by the time they get there, Scott, it may not matter.
Yeah, and they can go out there, and like you say, go 16 and 2, and it would take the Mavs really having to collapse to still even catch it. And you know, without Amari Stoudemire, and this team has played really hard in basketball games, that these last 5 they just haven't found a way to be able to kind of get over the hump in the final 5 minutes of these games, and it's just kind of it's a shame to see some of these wasted efforts.
The Cavs come here Wednesday. LeBron James will come to town as Barbosa, I should say Thursday, as Barbosa reaches in and commits a foul. This is Tuesday. They'll play on Thursday, and then Suns will have Oklahoma City here Saturday and a back-to-back in Golden State on Sunday. Well, Dallas really came on. I'm sorry,
but the big fella there a little disappointed. Obviously, played hard there, just couldn't get the game. But you got to give him a big congratulations for what he's accomplished over his 17 years tonight, moving past Elvin Hayes and 5th all-time scoring.
He needed 13 at the start of the night. Ended up with 21. Terry at the line now. They're 17 of 19 from the line. You just don't want to put this team on the free throw line.
And they didn't in the first half. They were able to avoid that. Obviously, they had to foul a little bit more here in the final stretches of the game. Sure, this thing
just hasn't given up. You know he won't give up. 23 points, 13 assists. Look at him reach in against Nowitzki. Up to Barea, 22 seconds. Hill stays with it. I admire the effort of the Suns. Barbosa floats to the hole. 122 to 117. They haven't given up yet. Kidd, baseball pass, and now Terry will try to kill the remaining 15 seconds.
And the Suns won't foul. They'll let the time expire. Go down, lose this one by 5. And they fought hard. They just couldn't. There's just too much Dirk Nowitzki and Jason Terry, and give Barea and Hollins and the Mavericks a lot of credit tonight.
Thanks to Tom Delnos, our statistician, Sheila Simpson, our stage manager. Scott, disappointing for the Suns.
Do not go anywhere. We'll be right back with Game Time presented by Hyundai and some scintillating conversation right after this.
Scintillating! I said it right, GP. Quit texting me.